online and asynchronous. And I want to point out that asynchronous does not mean self-paced. And Amelia will probably explain a little bit more of what that means in a few slides from now. And if you'll go to the next slide, Jessica. This is why it's asynchronous. So we've had 200 students participate nationwide in the Ring program to date. And as you can see, we've got them all over the country, in Puerto Rico as well. And the reason it's online asynchronous is so that students can fit them in to their schedules. And, regardless of what time zone they're in, we also understand that high school students are super busy. And we really have tried to, be cognizant of that as we put this program together. Next slide, please. All right, so dual enrollment is something that we have this is the first time we've been able to offer it, and we're super excited about this. This has been a goal, I think, Jesse, since day one, correct me if I'm wrong. So again, I've mentioned it's a foundational cybersecurity course. Most of us are located or employed with the University of Alabama in Huntsville, but we have partnered with St. Vincent College in Latrobe, Pennsylvania for this dual credit option that we're offering this year. You should probably already know this. Like I said, I'll keep it brief and we'll let you ask questions later, but students can earn college credit at a much lower cost than what you typically have to pay. It's $285 for 3 credits. And in order to get that credit, we ask that they successfully complete the Ring course with a passing grade of 70% or higher, and that they pass their midterm and final exams with a combined average of 70% or higher. And again, Amelia will discuss a little bit more about how grading goes and everything throughout the course. Next slide, please. So some information. I know I've emailed all of you this stuff before, but if you haven't already, please complete the college and high school enrollment form that St. Vincent College provided. I emailed that information to you last week, I think. Maybe it's been 2 weeks since I sent that. When you're filling out the form, a couple of things to keep in mind. When you're asked what term you'll be taking, select fall 2024, even though it is a full year course, it will go through the spring. And when you're asked for your participating high school, select Ring USA. We'll just pretend that we're the high school. I have been in touch with Gianna at St. Vincent, and her email address is at the bottom of the slide here. She is the one that is coordinating all of this on the St. Vincent side. So if you have questions about tuition, you're going to need to get in touch with her. I am not handling the payments. But she has told me that once you fill out that form, you should receive a confirmation email that your registration went through. And then within about 24 hours, you'll get an email with information about how to make your tuition payment. And if you don't make it right away, she did say that you'll probably get weekly payment reminders. Next slide, and this is where we are going to start talking about what your student can expect in the class. And Amelia, if you want to take it away?
Yeah, I got it. Thanks so much, Catherine. I'm Amelia Adkins. I've been teaching Ring for a few years now, and I can speak on what a lot of our classes have looked like, as well as my own. And I'm sure Miss Gray's will look similar once you guys are engaging with it and within the course. So the general structure is kind of around a weekly format. And so to give kind of chunks of assignments and chunks of work instead of the entire thing at once, the instructors generally offer day-by-day assignments or carrier assignments for the week. And within that week, on average, there are 5 to 8, maybe sometimes less, but I guess average 5 to 8. And because we are giving out the work each week, the deadlines are also weekly, and those are on Saturdays, kind of as a neutral day, in case students are busy throughout the week, and weekends are helpful for catching up. Generally, those are on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Central. However, if there's some sort of schedule conflict, given a personal issue or illness, so on and so forth, if your work is late, it is still going to be there. It doesn't mean it just disappears. And you can still access the resources associated with that week or previous weeks and the assignments and turn those in. And there's generally no docked grade for turning it in late. And so within these different weeks, we have 2 forms of assessment, summative and formative, which I'll get into a bit more later. But on a weekly basis, you can expect discussion posts, graphic organizers, general assignments, so on and so forth. And then every approximately 10 instructional days or 2 weeks, there will be a summative assessment to measure that learning that's been going on in the form of labs projects or exams/tests. Next slide, please. Thanks so much. So this is the course content kind of in a nutshell. And so we have 10 units in total, 2 of which are supplemental. So you can see on the left, Unit 0 and Unit 5. Those are supplemental for the Ring course specifically, kind of with the introduction to what cybersecurity is and why it's relevant. And then Unit 5, just kind of giving a bit practice into what Python programming looks like. And there's no need to have a prior experience with Python coming into it because it's built to accommodate brand new coding and Python learners. So then the other units are fashioned around the cybersecurity curriculum guidelines that are published by the National Cryptologic Foundation. And we're actually, I'm pretty sure, in the exact order that they lay out their standards and the exact title. So you can see it runs from like ethics to networking to different forms of security, risk, and implications. But this is, of course, available in the course when you get into it. Next slide, please. So in our classroom, we work really hard to accommodate any needs or adaptations that come up, whether that's in the form of a student needing some extra assistance or different formats for the entire year, or if that's on a, hey, this week is really crazy, or I've had this personal thing come up. We're happy to accommodate any of those in whatever form or duration they come up in, but we just need to be aware of them. And so sometimes students come to us after the fact and say, I've been really struggling because XYZ doesn't fit me, or the work is really late, and they explain that they've just been gone or ill or had a family emergency. But it's really helpful for us to know that on the front end so we can make it easier for students when they return. And so a few forms of adaptations, and of course we have many more options, and it varies based on the learner in the classroom. But 4 examples that we have here are a lightened workload. So if a student has been out for a bit for whatever reason and is coming back to Ring, we don't want it to feel wildly overwhelming to the point where it's hard to re-engage. So we offer lightened workloads. We can excuse assignments that we kind of think are, of course, helpful, but not as essential for learning, and just keep the ones that we feel like cover those standards the most. We also have options for discussion posts for students instead of like responding to the assignment in the created format and that structure. If they can better expand their learning in their own words and their own understanding in their own words, we have discussion post options. We also offer catch-up opportunities past the course end date. If someone needs extra time, that's of course something that we'd like to give them. And then I guess with all of these things that I've mentioned already, due dates can be flexible, and we want to just make sure that we prioritize the learning, even if it's going to be a couple days or a week or so on late. We just want to make sure everyone is learning and moving forward. Can I grab the next slide, please? Thank you. So I think a few slides back, I got ahead of myself. I mentioned assessment, but this slide goes over it with a bit more information. So that comes in 2 forms. Informative is the day-to-day tasks and assignments that you're doing that form your understanding. And so this is, of course, your daily work, graphic organizers, activities, so on and so forth. But then summative assessments, which measure the sum of your learning after we've moved through those approximate 10 instructional days, come in the form of labs, projects, and exams. If the due date passes and a student hasn't turned in the work, I believe in most classes, the gradebook automatically issues a 40%. And in doing so, we're just trying to keep students from having the heavy hit of a 0, and just to kind of offer a bit more wiggle room in missing assignments and not dock grades too much. So for the formative assessments, and that's the daily work, we allow 2 attempts. So we turn it in the first time, you get regraded, you get some comments back on it, and you might think, I would like a different grade on this, perhaps a higher one, and you want to take that feedback and use it in your second attempt and your final attempt for your grade. That's available. And for summative assessments, we allow 1 retake, but the catch is that we're not going to give you the same exact test. It will be one with the content in a different form, because we're trying to measure your learning, not your ability to move through a particular same test twice. Can I get my next slide, please? Oh, communication. So for students who are physically, or not physically, but signed up for our Canvas Ring classroom, they have access to us in two ways for direct communication, that being the Canvas inbox or email. And if that kind of quick exchange isn't enough, we also have virtual office hours. And so I think based on the instructor, their preference for Canvas inbox specifically or email as a first point of contact will vary. But for parents, that's focused more heavily on email itself. And then, of course, if that needs to move on to a Zoom meeting, that absolutely can. I think I have one more slide, or I might not. Oh, no, I'm handing it over to Karen. Thanks so much.
Hello everyone, I am Karen Brown and I am the Ring Program Guidance Counselor. I just wanted to introduce myself today and tell you some of the things that I'm able to help your students with. We are, most of all, a readily accessible resource for your students and parents. Some of the different areas that I can be of assistance with are academic advisement, career interest, college planning, transcript requests, personal and social development, and credit attainment. So I work a lot with, and I'm not sure exactly, I may have to get with Catherine on this, but I usually am the one that issues the transcripts with the credits. With this being a dual credit course, I'm assuming I still will do that, but we may have to. Do you know, Catherine? Will that come from the
Yeah,
college?
because it can still count as high school credit if they decide that that's what they want to do, but we'll coordinate with St. Vincent to make sure the college credit is also applied if they meet the
Right. They
criteria.
will get their college credit, of course, at the college. And then, you can always, once you obtain that credit, then you can request a transcript. If your student is going to another college, of course, then you can request a transcript from St. Vincent's and they will send it to the college. And so therefore that credit will count. And then I will be the one that issues the high school credit, and I will deal with your high schools and issue the transcripts to them. So if anyone needs any assistance with that, or if you need me to reach out to your high school, I will be glad to do that. My contact information is on the right side of the slide. You can email me. That is the best way to get in touch with me. And it's karen.brown@uah.edu. And then also I have office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 5. And there is a link there, and we'll try to put those in the chat so that you'll have that. But it's like a Google Meet. So if you ever need to meet with me or have questions, then I am more than happy to do that. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I look forward to working with your students.
Hey everyone, this is Jesse Hairston. Like Catherine said earlier on, I'm the program director for Ring. And I just wanted to drop in real quick and let you know about one of our other opportunities inside of the Ring program. So often we hear from students that they want more cybersecurity outside of the course. So we established something called the Ring Student Organization. We call it the Student Org, just kind of for short. But this is available for all kinds of Ring students. So regardless of whether the student is in our regular courses, taking courses through their K-12 teacher, or in your case, taking the dual credit course, they can still participate in the student organization. And this is entirely voluntary for the students. It doesn't impact their grade inside the course or anything like that. And what we offer is we do monthly guest speaker sessions. Inside of the student org, we bring in a cybersecurity professional to come in and talk about their career or show off a demo for the students. Those are all hosted in kind of a similar type environment to this. It's going to be on Zoom, and students have a chance to ask questions from our guest speaker. I will say, as an aside, we're always looking for guest speakers. Occasionally we have parents and guardians who happen to be cybersecurity experts. So if you are one and wouldn't mind doing a session, presenting a session for us, feel free to reach out to Catherine and just our Ring email address that you've already been corresponding with her on, and let us know that you're interested in that kind of opportunity. We also work with a group called the 502 Project. They host a cybersecurity Discord server that is secure. It's locked down. They have a lot of hoops that people have to jump through to enroll for that. But really the purpose of that is to allow students to network with each other in a safe, moderated environment. So all of the chat logs are moderated. There's a lot of protections in there. So that's an optional way that students can kind of participate and chat with other students as well. And finally, the last student org thing I want to mention is we're rolling out a brand new Ring cybersecurity CTF competition. So it's going to be a capture the flag event, kind of a traditional cybersecurity competition. We'll be launching this later this year, early next year, but we want to give our Ring students the chance to participate in this, the chance to test it out for us. So really, you guys came in at the perfect time because your students will be able to join the competition if they want to participate in it, and then we'll send them a thank you prize in the mail as a special thank you for them participating in it. So we'll be soliciting interest in that pretty soon, and that'll be happening next month. So we'll make sure to keep you guys apprised of all of our Ring Student Org events, and hopefully some of your students will be interested in joining that. So now I'm going to turn it back over to Catherine to talk about ways that you can help support the Ring program.
Right. So as Jesse mentioned, we are always looking for guest speakers. If you know somebody or you yourself would like to be a guest speaker, please fill out the guest speaker form. And I'm going to say again that I do have all of these links in the very top of the chat, so you can copy them there. And I will also, of course, share this information with you. And if you lose it, just reach out. I'm happy to provide it again. So that's one way you can help support us. Secondly, of course, recruiting students. If you know students who might be interested, or your kids really end up loving it, which we think they will, please spread the word. I've provided links here for the Ring website, which also has a link to our student enrollment form. You should be familiar with that. Either you or your student filled it out at some point. And then also we love to share our curriculum with educators. It is free. We provide it to mostly high school, but middle school, basically anyone who can prove that they are an educator. And I do research that to make sure that they are before I give them access. And they are welcome to poke around in it, download it. They can use as much or as little of it as they want in their classroom, but we definitely want to get the word out and let people know that this resource is available to them, especially as cybersecurity education is just really becoming so important in our country. Next slide, please. Also, yeah, QR codes to both of those forms that I just mentioned. And again, I will share this information with you too. So don't feel like you have to rush and grab your phone right now. And next slide. Again, contact information, just in case you want to jot it down. I'll give you a minute. I also want to say, I know that we had some issues with the Canvas invites for this class, and that is on me. I did not realize that the course had not been published before Mrs. Gray left the country. And that's totally on me. So she is back. It is published. I think most of you were able to get in. We did find a little workaround, but I also, just in case, I resent all of those Canvas invites this morning. So please have your student check their inbox. Sometimes they go to spam, sometimes they go to the promotions folder. They do come from Canvas, not from me. So it's an invitation to join the learning platform, and that's where all of their coursework will take place. If they're still having issues, please get in touch with me. We still have a good amount of time before class starts on the 26th, and I will work with you to get in. Canvas is not my favorite. It gives me a lot of problems sometimes, but you know, it's great for once you get in, it's perfect. It's just, sometimes I have some issues getting the kids in, but I will work with you. We will make sure that everything is taken care of well before they start on the 26th. And I think the next slide is we are ready for your questions.
Hey, Catherine, do you mind repasting in those links into the chat? I think if they joined after that was posted, they can't see them. I know I can't.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
This is your chance to ask us any questions you have. Hopefully we've done such a great job that you don't have any, but we'll see.
Hi, I have a question for Karen. I just want to double check and make sure that you said that your time for them to be able to join in on a Google Meet would be, is that Tuesday and Friday, you said, between 3 and 5?
Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh, and Thursday. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I thought I had that incorrect. All right. Thank you. That was my only question.
Okay, you're welcome.
And I will also add that we can also set up custom appointments if that time frame doesn't work for anyone. So we're very flexible.
Absolutely.
Will there be a kickoff for the students to get to meet each other? And is there something we should put on the calendar, or does it just start asynchronously? And when will they know to log in to begin doing the work?
Well, I can't speak to a kickoff. I would let Mrs. Gray talk about that, but I will say that the curriculum, the material will be available on August 26th. They can go ahead and log into Canvas at any time before then. They're just going to get, you know, a welcome screen, and the modules won't be available yet for them to start work.
Yeah, so coursework will be available starting August 26th. And we'll probably kick off with just a simple like discussion post back and forth, because students are going to be accessing it at different times. So that's a really neat idea. And we thought about doing maybe a discussion post so that the students can introduce themselves to each other and what they want to do. So that's a tough thing with the asynchronous learning, with everybody coming in at different times. But we're going to try and do as much as we can to make it interactive through other ways. Does that answer your question?
That's great. Thank you.
Thanks, Deb. I didn't see you there.
Yeah, I snuck in. Yeah, I'm just here to say hi. I'll be teaching the course. I'm really looking forward to it. Cybersecurity is a passion of mine, and students that I've taught in the last number of years. I teach CS, computer science, and cybersecurity, and the Ring curriculum is a really a good fun class. So I'm looking forward to working with all the students that are here and parents.
Like I said, we will let you go if you don't have any other questions, but let's wait a minute or two and just see. And feel free, if you don't want to unmute, you can type it into chat.
Yeah.
And I'm
Does
also,
anyone have any questions for me?
I just have a question. There was mention of the links would be added to the chat. We're still not able to see those links.
my apologies. I did not realize I was responding to a direct message. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Can everyone see them now?
Yes, I see them.
Okay.
Yes, we can see them now. Thank you.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize that I had a direct message. Any other questions? All right. Well, listen, I mean, I hope you all know that you can reach out to me at any time, and I will do whatever I can to help you out, especially getting your students into that Canvas platform. I can also put you in touch with people who can answer questions that I may not be able to answer. But I really appreciate you taking the time to join us. We really like talking about what we do, and you know, we hope that you know, if you know anybody that might be interested, you'll please point them our direction. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy your weekends. We're looking forward to getting this class kicked off.
Bye, everybody.